If you clicked on this video because you miss the products you grew up with, if you've ever stood in a supermarket aisle wondering, wait, didn't this look different before? Or if you've noticed that some of your favorite childhood items have quietly disappeared without explanation, then stay right here. Because today, you're not just going to get nostalgia, you're going to get the real reasons behind why these items were discontinued, why they changed, and what they look like now. And trust me, some of these stories are far more shocking than you'd expect. Let's start with something that proves how different rules can completely change consequences. In Finland, a man named Anders Wiklöf was caught driving just 20 kilometers per hour over the speed limit. Now, in many countries, that might earn you a fine you grumble about for a few days, but Anders didn't receive a typical ticket. He was fined $129,000. Yes, for overspeeding. That's over $1 million in many currencies. Why? Because in Finland, traffic fines aren't fixed. They're calculated based on your income, and Anders happens to be a wealthy businessman. On top of that, he had prior speeding violations, so the system worked exactly as designed. The richer you are, the heavier the penalty. Same mistake, very different consequences. Now let's move to Russia, where something happened that sounds almost impossible. A man named Artyom Sidorkin began experiencing sharp pain in the right side of his chest. Soon after, he started coughing up blood. Doctors feared the worst, lung cancer. X-rays showed something unusual. Surgery was scheduled, but when doctors performed a biopsy, they were stunned. Inside Artyom's lung was a 5-centimeter pine tree, a real one, growing. Doctors believe he may have inhaled a tiny seed without realizing it, and due to the warmth and moisture inside the lung, it began to sprout. Thankfully, surgeons removed it successfully, and he recovered. It's one of those rare medical cases that sounds fictional, but it wasn't. In Australia, there's a story that restores your faith in kindness. A 74-year-old woman named Jane Sumner had been renting a home for 23 years from a man named John Parrott. She paid her rent consistently, she maintained the property carefully, she was responsible, respectful, dependable. Then one day, John passed away. When his will was read, something unexpected happened. He had left the entire house to Jane. After more than 2 decades of loyalty and trust, he gifted her the property outright. No drama, no publicity stunt, just appreciation rewarded. Now let's talk about a billionaire from Brazil named Chiquinho Scarpa, who once shocked the public. He announced that he planned to bury his $500,000 Bentley Continental in his backyard so he could drive it in the afterlife. The media showed up, a grave was dug, the car was lowered. People called him insane, wasteful, out of touch. But at the final moment, he stopped everything. It had all been a message. He explained that if burying a car seems like a waste, why do people bury their organs when they die instead of donating them? The stunt was meant to promote organ donation, and suddenly the outrage turned into reflection. Now let's look at Japan, a country known for advanced technology and high living standards, yet over 10 million homes there sit completely empty. The government even offers home loans at around 1% interest to encourage buyers. Still, people aren't purchasing them. Why? Because Japan's population is declining and younger generations are moving to major cities. Rural areas are left with abandoned homes and aging communities. It's a strange problem to imagine. Too many houses, not enough people. In the UK, there's a friendship story that feels almost unbelievable. A group of friends has been meeting at the same pub every Thursday since 1968. That's over 56 years of consistent gatherings. Even during the pandemic, when they couldn't meet physically, they kept the tradition alive through Zoom calls. Same day, same time, different platform. Real friendship doesn't fade with time. It adapts. Now let's talk about time travel, not in science fiction, but in reality. A Cathay Pacific flight leaves Hong Kong at 12:30 a.m. on January 1st, 2026. After crossing the international dateline, it lands in Los Angeles at 9:29 p.m. December 31st, 2025. Passengers literally depart in the future and arrive in the past. It's not magic, it's time zones and geography, but it feels like stepping through a portal. There are also studies suggesting that people who spend excessive time alone listening to sad or aggressive music may be showing early signs of depression. Research indicates that some individuals use music to repeatedly dwell on negative thoughts. This behavior, combined with social withdrawal, can be an early indicator of emotional struggle. It's not about blaming music, it's about understanding patterns and being mindful of mental health. In Alaska, a woman named Amanda from South Africa traveled with her husband and dog to celebrate their 18th wedding anniversary. While near the icy waters of Eagle River, their dog fell through the ice. Without hesitation, Amanda jumped in to save it. Months later, when rescue teams recovered them, Amanda and her dog were found together. She had held him in her arms until the end. For many, pets aren't just animals, they're family. Now here's something heartwarming for gamers. Rockstar Games, the creators behind GTA 6, allowed certain terminally ill fans early access to the game. These individuals, battling severe illnesses like cancer, may not live long enough to see the official release. Through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, their dream of playing the game early became reality. Sometimes corporations do something genuinely human. NASA's New Horizons spacecraft traveled for 9.5 years, covering over 3 billion miles, to capture detailed images of Pluto in 2015. The photos revealed icy mountains and frozen plains in stunning clarity. Pluto, once dismissed as just a distant dot, suddenly looked like a real world. In the United States, the FBI used to rely heavily on Chevrolet Suburban SUVs for operations, but over time they began transitioning towards vehicles like the BMW X5 protection models. One major reason, performance and handling. Another, visibility. The black Suburban became so associated with federal agents that it attracted attention instantly. The BMW blended in more easily as a luxury vehicle. There was also the case of Antonio Riano, a man wanted in the United States for murder. He disappeared for years. When he was finally located in 2024, authorities discovered he had been living in his own hometown in Mexico and had become a local police officer. The man who was supposed to be caught had hidden within law enforcement itself. Now let's revisit childhood. Ben 10 ended with a dramatic twist. A villain from the future traveled back in time and stole the Omnitrix, turning Ben into an ordinary boy. No powers, no transformations. But with help from Grandpa Max and Gwen, he regained it and became a hero again. Ninja Hattori concluded with Hattori completing his ninja training and returning to his village, saying goodbye to his friends. Chota Beam, despite having over 200 episodes, has never received an official ending. No new episodes have aired since 2020, but the story technically remains open. Shin-Chan, with more than 1,200 episodes, also has no official finale, despite countless online rumors. The last episode simply showed Shin-Chan saving his sister from an accident. Keimon Ache, often called India's version of Doraemon, ended in 2017 when Keimon left Rohit and went to Japan. And finally, let's talk about products you definitely remember using. Parle G's 2 rupee square packet used to be everywhere. Now it's gone. The 5 rupee pack that used to be rectangular has shifted shape. Packaging reversed over time as pricing strategies changed with inflation. Horlicks once came in cardboard boxes costing around $150 for 500 grams. Today, the price exceeds $200, and the brand also introduced 10 rupee sachets to reach middle-class consumers and match modern buying habits, focused on smaller trial-sized packaging. Rasna's orange drink powder once came in 2 rupee individual sachets that could make an entire jug. Those small packs were discontinued. Now it's mostly sold in larger boxes costing around $250 to $300. The shift was driven by premium positioning and lower profit margins on small packs, along with increased competition. Thumbs Up used to be sold in 5 rupee glass bottles that had to be returned. Today it's commonly found in 20 rupee plastic bottles. Glass bottle systems faded due to logistics costs and industry-wide transitions, though many still miss that original chilled glass bottle experience. Fruity once had its iconic 5 rupee triangle Tetra Pak. That distinct pyramid shape made it instantly recognizable. Today, it's sold in rectangular brick-shaped packaging for 10 rupees per 200 milliliters. The change improved storage efficiency, transportation, and ease of drinking with straws. Practical, but nostalgic fans still miss the triangle. Over time, products change. Prices rise, packaging evolves. Some disappear entirely, but the memories tied to them stay frozen in a different era. And maybe that's why discontinued items hit us differently. They're not just products, they're reminders of who we were when we first used them. And this is just one layer of the stories we accept as normal, because sometimes the things we believe are simple everyday changes actually hide fascinating reasons underneath.